Hello, YouTubers. This is Sam's Automotive, bringing you another episode of How DIY. Okay, today I'm going to show you how to test a contactor on the hybrid battery. That goes for any Prius, Toyotas, Chevys with the same system that we shown here. Okay, in this case, we have the positive contactor. Now, if we come in this other side, we'll have the negative contactor. Okay. I want to talk about how this contactor works and what do they do. Okay. In this case, see if we can disconnect here, and I can show you real quick. As you guys can see, there is two wires here. There is a black and a white, and there is a green. Okay. This contactor is going to have two wires, which is enabled by the power source, which is the computer management. This guy here is the job to enable both of these guys. Okay. All right. So if you want to test this thing by hand, what you want to do is make sure, first of everything touching this battery, the service plugs, it has to come out. Okay. Once you disconnect all this, then you pretty much what you're doing is you're disabling the connection in this whole battery. Okay. You have to wait for maybe 5 minutes. Make sure, check here in this port that you have no current at all, and it's reading 0. Okay. Once you do that, okay, the next step is going to be disconnecting this connector from the bottom. You'll find this connector in the bottom. It's going to have two wires. It's going to have a black and a white, and it'll have a green with a black stripe. Okay. The black with the white, that's your ground. The green is the power source that comes from the computer. Okay. Now, if we can go to the other side, and I can show you real quick. In this other side, what you're going to have is you're also going to have a black and a white, and you'll have a green. The black and the white is the ground, and the green one, it's your positive side, also coming from the computer. Okay. All right. Once you know what you're doing here, and which is the circuit to enable this connector, we'll go ahead and I'm going to apply from my power prof here. I'm going to apply ground to the black and the white. Okay. Now, to make sure that we get in ground here, I'm going to touch here. And we can see we do have ground. Okay. The next step, it's to put a connector here on the other side, and then we'll apply 12 volts to it, and we'll hear a click on the contactor. That tells you this contactor is good. So we'll go ahead and we'll apply 12 volts to it and see what happens. All right. Hold on, guys. I'm going to make sure that I'm doing the right thing here. Okay, guys. All right. So I guess I was kind of doing the wrong connection here. So what you want to do is make sure that you're applying power and ground to the side that's coming from the contactor. Okay. In this case, it's going to be this side here. Not like that side like I was doing it. All right. So it's got to be this side. All right. The male side, or female, whatever you want to call it, but it's going to be here. It's going to be the sides with the dark two wires, black wires. Okay. So what I put here so you can see on the connector, put a plus and a minus, so that way I know which wire I'm triggering. And the way I know that is because I will have this reference here, connection. It's got to be connected like this, and then so you know your white and the black is your positive. All right, so it's going to be like this, okay, like that, and then that's, you know, that your negative is on this side, the positive is on the other side. All right, so the setup I have done here is I put ground from my power probe on this connection from the inside with the alligator clip. As you can see, I have this guy here. Now, in the outside, I have the other side with nothing. Okay, so this side is what I'm going to apply. I'm going to apply power to it. So you can see that's the power side, but just with the pierced. So here we go. Now we're going to be able to hear this contactor if it's good. All right, let's hear that. You guys hear it? All right. Now, if this guy is enabling, I would say probably it's not that it's working 100%, but if you want to make sure that it's working, you can put a tester here, you know, to see if it's closing. In this case, I did it already. I think I had a light here just laying down somewhere. Or I can put my meter, and then I can just go ahead and put the ground here somewhere. In this case, we probably try to put the ground here. Well, let me see. Try to see if I can ground my voltmeter. So hold on. All right, guys. Finally, I did the connection. As you guys can see, or as you guys should know that this contactor, it's a bridge between the whole connection to your wire, okay? So in this case, I have applied ground, in this case from the battery. That should be a positive, the whole power for the battery. But really, it doesn't matter if you put ground or current. What matters is that we should get power from here to here when we enable this contactor, okay? So in this case, we notice that we have ground in this side, and we got nothing in the other side. So once I enable this, I should have a current to this light bulb here. So the way I also did this is since I'm testing this contactor with the negative side, not with the positive side, I have applied ground here, okay? So my light bulb, it goes here to this connection where that's going to be my hot. The other piece, it's on the ground. Since once I apply power here, I should get ground to that side. This side is going to be my ground. The other side goes here. That's going to be my hot. So that's going to be the hot side. This is going to be my ground, okay? On that side. So this is going to be my ground side and a ground side. So on the relay itself, I'm going to apply 12 volts, and I already have my ground here. As you guys can see, I have my ground. So one side is ground. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply power to it, and we should hear a click, and we should see the light bulb lighten up. And here we go. All right. So let's get ready here, and here we go. I'm gonna apply 12 volts to it. We'll also hear the click. At the same time, we're applying ground. So at this point, we verify that this contactor is working 100%. Okay? How do we know that? It's because every time I apply 12 volts to here, this ground jumps over. Okay? And that's what this side here is, what's grounding my light bulb. And also it's grounding the this guy here, but that's not an issue. I put that just so I can get this connector on this side. Okay, so there you go, guys. That's how you test a connector. So if we would do that in the other connector, we should have the same result. So so you guys can understand me better, is to summary this testing, it's again on the side of the contactor, okay, not on the side of the wiring, okay. This is the ECM side, this is your contactor side, okay. So you apply ground to it, you apply 12 volts to it, and you should hear a clicking in this contactor. If you don't hear a clicking, that's pretty much a bad contactor. Now, if you're not 100% if this contactor is working, okay, so what you want to do is you want to apply ground to this side, put a test light ground in that side, okay, and the other side, put it on the hot, okay, and then you will apply 12 volts, and there we go. So now you know you have 100% working contactor, okay? All right. So again, guys, very important. You need to put a ground on the right side and positive on the right side so you can enable this contactor so it can close that connection, okay? So that goes the same testing in the other side. If I would have to do it in this side, it's the same way. And this side I will put ground, put that to one side of the test light, and then maybe I'm going to show you real quick what I'm going to do. Well, maybe not, because those wires are kind of short on that side. I don't know if they're gonna reach all the way up here, but that's how you test a contactor, enabling with the negative and the positive. You will enable this. However you guys want to do it. If you want to apply 12 volts to that, okay, and so you would do the other way, so the other way around, okay. You apply 12 volts here. You apply that to that side of the light bulb. The other side is going to go to ground, okay. And then you apply ground to it in this case, not 12 volts. You apply ground to it, and that will close the circuit in here, and you'll see your light bulb lighten, okay. You can do it either ways. Again, this is a contactor for hot and for negative. So if I want to test it the other way, I would just have to bring a wire from here to here and do my reverse way here. In this case, probably it's going to be different if I want to do it with the hot. And I'm really curious about that, but I know that this contactor here works for positive and negative. I'm not sure if it's going to work for oh yeah, actually yes, because I'm testing it as a negative. So since it's a positive, so that just right there, it tells me 100% that this contactor works for positive and for negative. In this case, what we testing it with the ground. So we testing this contactor as a closed circuit for the ground. Okay, so if I want to do it on hot, I know it's going to work because again, this contactor was designed. It was built for positive, but I'm pretty sure that this contactor might be the same thing as the ground one. If I'm not mistakenly, might be probably the same number on it. Who knows? I would have to verify that by looking at it, a sticker on the side of it, or take it out. In this case, this one here, it's calling for AEBS 11612. 16012. All right, let's see what we got here. ABS 16012. Yep. See, guys? So, right there, top of my head, it tells me that's the same relay. Let's say, let's see, this one's ends in 614. 614. And that one down there, let's see. Yeah, it's a different number. 582. That's what it's called. 582. I can't show you right on video here, but yes, it's a 582. 582. And then this one here, it's 5614. But as far as the two numbers on the top, AEBS 6012, 6012, AEBS 6012. Yes, that is the same part number. What other things that we can look at it? Maybe the way they are set up. As you can see, from that side has a little something there, like a little notch. Now we go here, and yes, it does have the notch right there. You guys look at it. So, I wouldn't be surprised if this is built the same thing. As you can see, there is let me see if I can focus that. Yeah, there is a positive side, there is a negative side. There is a number 1, and there is a number 2. Let's see. Yep, number 2. Yep, number 2. Check it out on this side. So it's a positive side. There is a 1. There is a 2. There's a 1 minus, and there is a positive. So where that notch is You guys see the notch down there? What I'm talking about? Next to the bolt. That's where the numbers 1 and 2 are. Now, in this guy, yep. And now the notch is towards the number 1, so is that connector also. Let's review this one. Number 1, it's in this side. And is towards the notch is on the towards the 1. So is that connector. The connector towards the 1, and the notch and the connector. On the number 1, there's a connector and there's a notch. Yep. So pretty much it's the same contactor, guys. Oh, might have a different standards, I guess, to make it as a ground or positive, but really, I would say it's the same contactor. So, guys, thank you for thank you for being there for me. Hopefully, this video was helpful, and if you guys have any question, let me know. Thank you very much. God bless you.